So they talk about the drug some more, and of course the terrible consequences it has on humanity.
Here is a most tragic case. Yes, I remember. Just a young boy. Under the influence of the drug, he killed his entire family with an axe.
Jesus, killed his family with an axe? Come on, marijuana is like the Woody Allen of drugs. Pointless, ineffectual, and maybe annoying if overexposed to it.
I'd like to take these records, if I may. I feel they would be of invaluable assistance to me in combating the evil in my school. You're very welcome, Dr. Carroll. Thank you. Sit down, Bill.
Oh, God, are we still with this guy? Come on, the crowd he's talking to must be bored out of their minds. So I talked to the man and didn't learn very much. Then I talked to the boy and didn't learn very much. Then I went home and baked myself a cake. Oh, it was a lovely cake with lots of frosting and a little cherry on top. Then I started to fantasize about a woman putting on her pantyhose. Oh, yes, the soft, elegant leg that she has was so... Wish I didn't have to bring that to every meeting.
You were always a fine student. You always had excellent grades. If you were being honest with me and honest with yourself, I'm afraid you tell me an entirely different story. I'm worried about something at home.
So the doctor tries to see if there's anything wrong with the kid, but doesn't get anything out of him. Oh, that was boring. Let's get high again.
Come on, Bill! Come on! Come on!
What the hell is up with his face?
Come on! Come on!
Mary Lane then finds the place and tries looking for Billy. The gangster convinces her to take a few puffs, and before you know it, she's seen colors in a black and white movie. But the gangster tries to take advantage of Mary Lane as Billy walks in and misinterprets what he sees.
What o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee? It's sweet of you to help me, Bill.
And how fucking dare anyone out there make fun of
I
Brittany?
did not have sexual relations with that.
Oh my God, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life!
Hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband because they raping everybody out here.
This, of course, causes him to go on a rampage and fight pretty well for a guy stoned off his ass. But then somebody whips out a gun. Oh no, the gunshot popped her zit!
She's dead.
How? By shooting the mosquito on her back? So in typical gangsta fashion, see? They give the kid the gun and in his stoned state convince him that he shot her.
What happened? You killed her.
That's right. You killed Mary Lane while on the Mary Jane.
Look. After I scram, you call the cops. And this is your story.
I can still hear you.
Two kids came up here for a couple of beers.
What?
You're out in the kitchen, you heard the shots. When you got in here, that's what you found. Just stick to that story.
Oh, why wouldn't she? Isn't that what happened? I'm so high I don't care. So they have a trial for Billy, and oh my God, how many times do you put yourself in your own story? You're the Orson Welles / Kenneth Branagh of douchey drug films.
6 months ago, what would have been your opinion regarding the character of my client? He was a fine, upstanding American boy, a good scholar, a good athlete.
Slugworth's chocolates could have used him to build an everlasting pot stopper. So in the jury room, 12 angry idiots sit around and try to make their vote.
But he might have been insane when he did it.
No, he wasn't. He knew what he was doing.
But supposing he was insane?
You can never make me believe it nor anybody else. We'll take a first vote.
Boy, nice impartial verdict.
I have an opinion.
No, you don't!
11 for conviction, 1 for acquittal.
I'm looking at you, Baldy.
But there's a reasonable doubt about the boy's sanity.
He admitted it himself. That wasn't the first time he was there.
What the hell? I shouldn't have smoked all that pot.
We gotta make an example before boys like that contaminate all of our children. We can't have every murderer hiding behind the gag that he's insane. Sure, they see red before they kill somebody. But whose fault is it?
Crucify him! Crucify him! Crucify him! Crucify him! So Billy gets the verdict of guilty, but one gangster can't help but feel guilty himself. But hey, a little pot will solve that problem.
Faster. Faster!
travel back in time 1.21 gigawatts! Just then, another gangster comes in to see him in his drug-induced state.
I know what you want. You want to kill me. You're crazy.
Word of advice, you never want to call a crazy guy crazy. You know, because they're fucking crazy! So the gangster goes nuts and attacks him with a fly swatter, while one of the other people in the building calls the police.
Hurry, hurry! There's a terrible fight going on. Yes, yes. Apartment 32.
Wait a minute! How could anybody get a word in during that? What, was she talking to herself?
Hello?
Hurry, hurry! There's a terrible fight going on.
What?
Yes, yes.
I didn't say
Apartment 32.
So, Elliot Ness and his untouchables are sent out to arrest the people involved, and eventually the drug bust is closed. They even get the woman to confess all the crimes they've committed, including the framing of Billy for murder.
Bill didn't know he hadn't killed Mary. He was so doped up, they made him think he had. Ralph wanted to tell you, too. Oh, if they'd only let him. But this is the truth, Judge. I'm telling you the truth. After Jack saw the poor thing was dead, I'm just as much to blame. I am.
Officer Dick Cheney believes her story and sets out to put things right. But after she makes the confession, she finds that life just ain't worth living anymore. And by God, it does look like nice jumping weather, doesn't it? Okay, how did she break that window? That hole was huge. It's not like TV, guys. Those things don't crack that easily. So Billy is let off the hook and the gangster is sent to jail. Still stoned off his ass, apparently. I guess the guard was nice enough to let him smoke a few before he went into court.
It is recommended, Your Honor, that the defendant be placed in an institution for the criminally insane for the rest of his natural life.
I see no reason why the request should not be granted.
This, of course, ends our story as our doctor friend tells us the final message that we're supposed to take home from all of this.
Because it is only through knowledge that we can safely protect them. Failing this, the next tragedy may be that of your daughter, or your son, or yours, or yours, or yours.
Tell your children the truth about marijuana. It's less dangerous than alcohol, but it's still somehow illegal. It's never harmed a soul in history except for the people we just made up. We give it to the sick and elderly, but that's only because they're going to die anyway. Or yours!
Wait a minute! I got one last thing that I want to say.
What is it, Puke?
Have you ever considered the possibility of who's actually stoned in this movie?
What do you mean?
Well, think about it. You have a group of people who are clearly over-paranoid. They do nothing but sit in a room and stare at one person for hours. Then they tell over-exaggerated stories that, in fact, never happened.
Oh, so what you're saying is...
These hypocrites are stoned off their asses! The only reason they're watching him is because they believe his head is a giant molten milk ball! And the only reason he's with them is because he's paranoid what'll happen if he stops talking!
Okay, Puke, you've made your point.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it, because we already know what's really in there!
Alright, Puke, settle down.
Cookies! Cookies!
Why'd you say that?
I don't know, I'm stoned.
Alright, well, despite this being painfully false and of course hokey as hell, this is a fine little bit of propaganda. There's a reason this became a cult classic. It's so misinformed about what it's trying to inform you about that the hilarity speaks for itself. And while nobody should think that drugs are one of the greatest things in the world, it's so fun to see just how extreme some people will go to convince us that even the most harmless of drugs are the worst things in the world. It's a lot of fun and you can see it almost everywhere, even on DVD. So if you get a chance, check it out. I'm the Nostalgia Critic, I remember-
Wait! I have something important to say!
What? What the hell can you have to say?
I just want to say that this film really affected me. And as of today, I am going to quit marijuana cold turkey!
Really?
Yes, I never knew what a horrible effect it was having on me all these years.
Wow. Yeah, okay, well, I guess some good can come out of this movie, even if it is incredibly misleading.
That's right. It's just good old-fashioned crack for me!
Okay, I knew there was a catch. That's lovely. Okay, I remember it so you don't have to.
Why is your head a melting milk ball?
Shut up!
Gosh, hot chocolate.